First drop, double header.
Told you, man, we're out here with the right guy. Groupers and blue runners and little sharks. I mean, there was a lot of variety out
Grouper,
there.
a nice grouper. I mean, that was some good fishing.
But you know, we single purpose, man. We had one thing that we were trying to get, and I told Steve, I want to catch a big Goliath grouper, and he says, no problem, man.
Look at that fish! Oh my gosh! Tom, what did you do, man? Yes! Look at that guy! That is a shark.
That's the biggest fish I've ever caught.
I thought you said you had
I got him, relax.
Oh my God!
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, with Captain Tom Rowland and Captain Rich Tudor.
What are we gonna do today?
I think we'll go out in the Gulf and fish on some wrecks. Try to catch some big Goliath groupers, some big mangrove snappers, maybe get lucky and find some permit.
Get your back loosened up?
Yeah. He said he's got
I've been doing
Might do a little core routine
doing
here,
your
get
workouts
loosened
there.
up.
Yeah, definitely, because
Be a workout. You gonna try to wear us out or what?
yeah. There's been some fish out there, you know, 4, 5, 500 pounds, 600 pounds even.
So you bring some.
I brought some
dive
swim gear. Yeah, we'll go down there and see what's there and see how
You
many.
got an extra mask? I might go with you.
Yeah, got an extra mask.
I can't go 70
I might
feet
stay
like
on the
you.
boat and keep an eye out for sharks for you.
Yeah,
Okay, how's
you'll
that?
let us know if you see anything?
Yeah,
All
I'll
right.
let you know. Yeah, Tom kind of prides himself on physical challenges, and if you say it's too big, he's going to say I can do it. So I want to challenge you to break his back and spirit on a big fish.
All right, we're gonna try.
I'll ask as we do the biggest one first,
Okay, all right.
not last.
He's been
500.
wanting to
Let's go
go
for
after
the
these
biggest
big
one
Goliaths
first.
for a while. We never had the weather right, but it looks like
go,
today
man.
we can
I'm
do it.
Yeah, we got
Hop in.
great summer day. Let's make it happen. I think the first stop's gonna be about 30 miles. And then from there, we're just gonna start bouncing around and finding the one that's got the right stuff on it.
One of my favorite guys that I've ever fished with is Steve Rodgers, and this guy is he's really cool because he has a completely different perspective than either you or I do, really. He has spent as much time underwater as he has above water. I mean, the guy has gills. He's incredible. He's probably one of the most accomplished scuba divers that you'll ever be around. I mean, this guy has been doing it his entire life. He was born and raised in Key West, and that's what he likes to do. I mean, if he's not fishing, he's underwater, and he's fishing a lot, you know. So he knows this stuff so well, and he is a man after my own heart.
You told me a lot about Steve Rodgers, and I heard, you know, the name and seen him on, you know, some of the Madfin and other things that you know, you told me about. But, you know, getting down there and actually meeting him, you know, immediately you click and just see his mind, you know, the way it was rolling and the way he was thinking about fish. And I always think about fish like that too. But you could tell, you know, he has that different view, like you're talking about. He's seen them.
So a lot of these things we'll fish will be old shrimp boat wrecks, and then some of these older. There's some old World War II stuff out there, some big wrecks that we'll get up on, and they'll have they're more known, but at the same time, that bigger structure will hold those bigger schools of permit and the bigger schools of jacks, and even some cobia possibly.
Wow. Well, this is cool, man, because, you know, I mean, I got to fish down here with Tom in the bay bus. We've hit a bunch of the little wrecks, you know, in shallow, and, you know, we've hit it pretty decent sometimes for some permanent stuff, but I've never gotten to go, you know, really bounce around on the big wrecks down here. It's really exciting.
Yeah, we'll have fun.
What was really cool about going out there to me was once we got out, you know, 10 miles off the beach, I mean, it looked like blue, you know, 1,000-foot ocean water. I mean, there was flying fish going, the water was totally blue. I mean, I'd never seen the Gulf like that. When I go back in the Gulf from Isla Mirada, you've got that kind of mixing zone there where the water's dirtier. And, you know, we went out in the Gulf there, and when we were in 50 feet of water, it was blue. It looked like we were out, you know, 1,000 feet offshore.
All right, Rich, give that a shot, buddy.
Here we go. And when we pulled up that first wreck there, Steve, you know, moved around there on the GPS and finally dropped the anchor. You know, you could just see the beaming confidence in him. He knew, you know, we were going to catch some fish, and we started drifting those baits back there and immediately hooked up there. And I was pretty amazed. Probably the first bait in the water got hooked up, and then the second bait in the water got hooked up, and we had it fighting double headers and you know, not knowing what they were, it was pretty exciting. And this is pretty cool, man. First drop, double header.
Told you, man, we're out here with the right guy.
What do you got there?
I don't know. Looks like a shark, unfortunately. But
That's nothing wrong with that, man. I love catching sharks.
I like catching one of that size.
What kind of shark is that? Look how white he is.
That's a Key West wreck shark.
Sharp nose or what? Key West wreck shark.
Wow,
That's the
look
name
how
I like.
white he is.
Hey, I'm gonna steal that from you.
Yeah.
All right? Because listen, I need that species really bad.
Key West wreck shark.
We had a great bite of those what you call Key West wreck sharks there for a while.
But Steve wasn't happy with that. But,
I
you
was
know,
happy with it. We caught 3 or 4 of those, man, and that was fun. And then I remember, you know, I know what you wanted to do. I know you brought all the gear, and all you wanted to do was test yourself out on the biggest thing you could hook. Pretty cool.
Very good.
All right, at least there's life on Mars.
Okay, well, if I'm gonna drop that down, I'm gonna be ready for Mr. Big. I'm getting the gear.
Oh my gosh! I can't believe you brought that up.
I'm gonna catch another one, man.
Dude, that's a school bus. Look at that thing.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you by Hawks Cay Resort Marina and Villas. Surround yourself with what matters most. By Yellowfin, only in a Yellowfin. By Mercury, #1 on the water. By Bass Pro Shops, your adventure starts here. By Quantum Rods and Reels, fishing at a quantum level. And by Under Armour, YETI Coolers, Marine Formula Stable, and by Power Pole.
We got another one of those Key West wreck sharks. A double. It's a fast one.
That's good stuff, man. After we got a couple of those sharks in, you got your big harness on and geared up with the big rod and those big giant Goliaths out there.
Well, we were ready for it, man. That day we had the right rods, we had the right guide. You know, you say that Steve had a lot of confidence. He had tremendous confidence because that's exactly what he's used to. He's used to seeing on his electronics, seeing what it looks like on the bottom, and actually getting in the water, going down there and checking it out. And so, you know, he knows exactly what's down there. I mean, he's got a vision in his head of where that bait's hitting and where those Goliaths are and where everything is, the big snappers, the big groupers. I mean, he's got it so dialed, probably, in my opinion, more dialed than anybody I've ever fished with. Because of his connection between above water and beneath water.
Tom might have found what he was looking for.
I don't know.
Stuck on the bottom.
I don't know if you're stuck on the bottom.
No, that's a fish, I think.
There's no bottom there. Well, I remember as soon as you wanted to catch that big Goliath, we finally caught a blue runner for bait there, and put that blue runner on, dropped him down there with a big weight, and I could just see, you know, the anticipation. You know, you didn't know what you were going to hook into, and it didn't take long. You're like, boom, here it comes.
I need a little more drag.
You got a nibble there.
Yeah, I got something.
One good thing is, if it is the right one, Tommy, he'll show us where the wreck is. I would guess it. I would guess it's
Look
that
at him, he's
way.
spinning the boat around.
Yeah.
You think that's a big Goliath?
Not sure. Not sure. Is it staying down and not doing much?
Yeah, he's staring down a little bit.
What else would it possibly be? A shark?
Another shark, possibly, but we will find out sooner than later.
You know, it was pretty good tug there for a while, and you finally started to bring him up, and sure enough, it was a nice Goliath of probably, I don't know, 100 pounds or so, a really nice one. And you and Steve were like, there's bigger. I was pretty impressed with the size of that one. I mean, that was a big fish.
Look at that.
It might be a Goliath, I think, buddy.
I believe it is.
Yeah, you got him, buddy.
All right, how about that, man?
That's him.
That's a big grouper, bud. That's a big grouper. Nice job. First drop.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. The first fish we
How about
landed, we
that?
put down.
Halo.
Nice job, man. Look at that.
So you
Wow.
can catch one about 6 times that size?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're gonna find some big ones here today.
Here, let's get that vent tool, and we'll vent them and let them go.
Yeah, man.
You know, what was really cool about that day too is this is the first year that they had the venting tool, you know, mandatory on all boats in the Gulf. You know, when their bellies blow up like that after coming up from the pressure, they have a hard time swimming back down. And now these venting tools, it's wonderful to be able to just put in the pressure there and let all that air out.
And then they go right down.
Right towards his stomach, right?
Listen to that. I think you got it.
Yeah,
that time.
baby.
That's pretty cool. That way you can swim back down, huh?
You know, the regulations, it's important to know that if you are going to be fishing in the Gulf this year, it's really important to know what the regulations
We
are.
had 3 things we were dealing with this year that were new. Circle hooks mandatory, venting tool, and dehookers. And I think all 3 are absolutely phenomenal regulations and really protecting those species. Not only the Goliath grouper, but all the fish species. And
All right, I think that's good.
You guys need pliers or anything? Or?
I think I can just get him. He's not, I mean, that circle hook is, okay.
Beautiful,
How
buddy.
about that, right out of the corner.
Good job.
Nice circle hook. Nice job, Tommy boy. That's a nice fish. That's a big grouper. It is, he's slimy. Look at him go. Whoa, right back down there. He's okay?
Yeah,
I
he's
think
good.
He's good.
Look at him, there he goes.
Now that vent tool really helped, man. I mean, wow. Look at that, you can still see him.
Look at him swimming down.
He's going right to the wreck, right? So it's gonna be right there. You got some good fish in here, man. Every drop, we put something down, it's gotten eaten.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's gone in the water that hasn't gotten eaten.
You know, we vented that first fish there, let him go down. Then Steve, instead of re-anchoring there, he had his mind, he wanted to go to his honey hole wreck. And I'm not sure what that was or if we could get the numbers out of him if we ask him, but he took us somewhere and he was confident. He knew he was going to get them, and it was game on. I remember that first drop down there, he was dropping, we were just free lining the little cut pieces of little fish. I think he was cutting up, you know, the crabs and the little fish there, and we were just putting a little piece of that on, just free lining it down on a circle hook and a little weight, and just immediately, bam, we got hooked up and we were catching these nice mangrove snappers. I was really impressed.
Nice. What a nice mangrove. Good job.
Look at that guy. Holy smokes.
That is a beautiful mangrove.
That is unbelievable. My favorite fish in the whole ocean.
I mean, really big mangrove snappers, but not just snappers, but groupers and blue runners and little sharks. I mean, there was a lot of variety
big
out
grouper,
there.
a nice grouper. I mean, that was some good fishing.
Yeah, absolutely great fishing. But you know, we single purpose, man. We had one thing that we were trying to get, and I told Steve, I want to catch a big Goliath grouper. And he says, no problem, man.
When this red line gets off the spool, I'm gonna get bit.
Oh, wait, I got him over here. He hit my rod.
Uh-oh.
I got him on.
We're gonna be getting a duo.
Got him on. How about that, man? I got him on the right rod this time. You know there's a wreck down there. We were pretty close to it. And if we're dropping that bait down there and that big Goliath comes up and eats it, if he goes 20 yards, he's gonna be in the wreck, maybe 20 feet. So the key is to not let him get that head going.
What was that word? Oklahoma? Oh.
Oklahoma, he needs help, Steve.
Okay, come on.
So we had that drag cranked down, like you said, with a wrench. And when I hooked into that fish, and it started, you know, at first it didn't seem that bad, and then all of a sudden he decided he was gonna go that way, and man, I was getting drug out of the boat.
I'm gonna have to go to the back of the boat. I got it.
Well, you got the rod? I don't know what you want me to hold on to, but.
I think Steve had to come over there and like grab me by the waist there. You know, I mean, I was hooked in with his harness and all that drag. I mean, it was almost gone. It was all I could do not to get pulled out of the boat.
It was pretty funny, man. I mean, just watching it from behind there, you know, your feet
It wasn't funny from my end.
Your feet are dangling up and down like that. It was pretty funny.
Oh my gosh. Gosh.
You said Oklahoma awfully quick. Didn't he?
He set the hook. Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But, you know, you probably shouldn't laugh at you like that, but it was funny.
Steve, you got some big boys down there. Oh my
He likes to swim down there.
That's crazy.
I'll go down there and tell you how big
How
he
many
is.
do you think are down there?
Ah, heck, I've seen up to 30 of them
Oh
on the
my
spot.
gosh.
You know, 30, all 200 plus pound fish.
Once we finally got that drag cranked down, after that, I almost got pulled out of the boat. Finally fought that guy up off the bottom, and once I got him about halfway up, I guess it was about 70 feet of water, you know, then it was, you know, a lot easier.
Look at this thing. Look at that, dude.
Oh, God.
Look at this monster.
I can't believe I broke that thing off. Man.
Look at this guy, huh?
That's awesome.
How about that for a fish?
Now that's getting closer to about the size we're talking
Wow.
about.
Look at that monster. How big do you think that is, Steve?
He's 150 plus, I think.
I'd say
200?
way bigger.
Yeah.
Same thing with, got in there with a D-hook, or the venting tool after we got the hook out of him. And I remember on that one, our venting tool was too small. We tried to vent through that tough skin and it literally bent the needle.
Right.
Thank goodness we'd had a bigger, you know, venting tool and we were able to get in there. But that's a good lesson for everybody is to, you know, if you're going after a really big fish, have a really big venting tool.
There you go,
Nice.
baby. Give him a real hard push. Push him real hard. Got it?
There he goes. See you, buddy.
Perfect.
Good job.
Over the years, the sport fishing community has gotten better at conservation.
and the fishing regulations have changed each year to reflect that. This year there was a major change. They now require us to have circle hooks, venting tools, and dehookers on the boat at all times when fishing in Gulf waters. The venting tool is one of the coolest things. Whenever that fish comes up from deep water, if they comes up from probably 40 feet or deeper, the fish will often have their bellies blow up with air and have trouble swimming back down if we want to let them go. And if we're fishing for snapper or grouper, we might want to keep some that are legal size for dinner, but if we're trying to let the small ones go, or fish that we're just catching and releasing let go, they could all float away and die because they can't get down to the bottom. The venting tool allows us to come in here when we get them up to the boat. We don't even have to pull them out of the water. We can let them lay right in the water. Come in there about 3 to 4 inches behind the pectoral fin. Come in at a 45-degree angle. Push in like this until we hear that air start hissing out. At that point, once that air starts coming out, kind of keep it coming, push down on the belly a little bit so you can keep that air working out. But once you get that air out, then pull the needle out, take the hook out of the fish, and he should swim away just fine. You should have no problem swimming back down to the bottom. They make different size venting tools now. This is a little bit smaller one for small to mid-sized fish. If you're dealing with a bigger fish, like a big giant Goliath grouper or big snappers or amberjack or something, probably need to step it up to a little bit larger venting tool like this. This one's really nice, keeps the needle hidden down in there. We can push it up here to this level there. That's probably good for a fish of this size or a little bit bigger. And then if we're dealing with a big Goliath grouper or something large, maybe a 300-pound fish, something like that, we can extend it even more, push it all the way up there, so we have a little more length to get to that air bladder. Same thing, maybe 1 to 3 inches behind the pectoral fin. Once you're done, pull it out, dehook them, let them go. Those fish are going to have a much higher rate of survival, and we'll be able to catch them again.
The Hawks Cay Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you by Yellowfin, only in a Yellowfin. By MotorGuide, never stop. By Lowrance, makers of HDS high-definition systems. By Guideline, optimum performance on and off the water. By Florida Keys and Key West, come as you are. And by Thumbdinger, Buff Headgear, Scott Fly Rods, Navionics, and Loadmaster.
After I brought my big one up, which was pretty darn impressive and definitely the biggest Goliath I've ever landed personally, you know, you dropped down there and hooked into that monster. And I remember, I think at the same time you were fighting that one, I had dropped down the snapper rod, the lighter rod, and I was hooked up with a, you know, which that was the problem. We were going down with the snapper rods trying to get snappers, and we were hooking Goliaths.
Yep.
So, I mean, I was fighting that one. At the same time, you were hooked into a monster. I mean, it was a double header.
Oh, Tommy's got one too.
You know, you had yours, of course, on the big rig with a 100-pound braid and harness, and I had mine on a light spinning rod.
Dang. Dude.
How we doing? We're going to have to do it again?
Nope.
And after I almost got pulled out of the boat, and Steve Rodgers had to grab me, you hooked into one that with that drag crank down that literally lifted your feet off the deck there.
You get out of position, man. You can go in.
He goes, I'm good. Both feet are off the ground.
He does not want to say Oklahoma, man.
Hey.
He's going in the water before he says Oklahoma.
No, I'm good, but both feet were off the ground.
I was thinking, okay, the next step is to loosen the drag, and the step beyond that is to take the knife that I got in my pocket and cut the line. I was prepared with that, and everybody should be, you know, because it's a very real chance that you're going to get pulled in the water. A very real chance, and one misstep, you're in.
I can see color. He's bigger than yours.
What I think, you know, we learned is, you know, instead of having the preset cranked down to where it's going to pull you out of the boat type preset, have it at a decent amount to where you can still handle it, but then just add that extra stuff to get them out of the wreck.
Like going to 11.
Look at that fish. Oh my gosh! Tom, what did you do, man?
And of course, I was concentrating on my fish over here, but when I looked over and you said, there he is, and I looked over and I saw that thing come up off the water, I was just, whoa, it looked like a boat back there. That was huge, man.
You did it the easy way with that big rod. Try like, oh, there he goes.
You get off?
Yeah.
That's all right. You had a mighty battle.
Yeah, that was something that I was surprised you held on to that long.
God,
that thing is just massive.
It's just such a cool fish. You know, I'm always happy to catch one, and if it happens to be a really big one, fantastic. You know, that's what we were out there for. But I'm always happy to catch one of those because, you know, I grew up a largemouth bass fisherman. So to catch one of those to me is like catching the biggest largemouth bass that's ever swam in the world. They got the same mouth structure, they got the same kind of body shape, and let's see Kevin Van Dam hold that thing over his head.
Yeah, grab his mouth. It's about as big as anything you've ever seen.
That is unbelievable, Tom. You could stick
You
your
all right?
entire
You want a glove?
Yeah, I'd love a glove.
Well, that was impressive stuff, man. When we, you know, get out there and, you know, first of all, it's just hanging out with Steve, you learned a lot. I mean, I learned a lot about the way he thought fish acted, and to have my first trip out in the Gulf there to be that successful, see those giant Goliaths, varieties of sharks, big snappers, I mean, big mangrove snappers, had some good snappers for dinner there, and then those massive Goliaths. That was a really cool day.
Well, perfect, man. Circle it right in the corner.
Try to roll him over.
He's going awesome. Look at that big boy. Woo! Go, baby.
What
Go,
a
baby.
fish.
Look at that.
That's all. Good job, dude. Good
Well
job.
done, man.
Good job.
Accommodations provided by Hawks Cay Resort Marina and Villas. Surround yourself with what matters most.